Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good everything. Welcome to Live with Joan in Learn to Communicate with Animals with Joan. And is Leslie Williams on?
I see that someone's on. Oh, that's me.
Awesome. All right. So, hi, Claudia.
Oh no.
Tell us where you're from. No?
Oh no, we've got a few people. Joyce Lee Leggett says hi.
Hello. It's usually Joyce or Leslie
Yeah.
first.
I'm waiting to see who else comes. All of a sudden it populated.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Claudia Goodman is watching.
Hi, Claudia. Where are you from? Maybe you could type in.
Leslie Williams says hi.
Hi, Leslie. All right. Well, we're going to have some fun today. Well, I don't know about fun, but we're going to do some work.
I just wanted to make sure the sound was working.
The sound is working.
My eardrum out.
Yeah, the sound is working.
Heidi Evans Ensley says good morning, lovely ladies.
Good morning, Heidi.
Terry Ann McGrath says hello, ladies. Shelley Messier says hello, ladies.
Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Anyone else?
People are joining.
Well, if you're joining, please say hi and say where you're from. It'll be fun to hear where everyone is from. We've had a lot of new people join the group, so it'll be fun to see some new people. And of course, I love our regulars. It's a great thing that we have regulars. So if you are new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, author, TEDx speaker, founder of Communication with All Life University. We have programs for beginning animal communication all the way to professional, beginning energy healing all the way to professional, and a whole bunch of stuff in between. We also have, and I'm also the founder of Adventures of the Heart, and that is, we do trips to wildlife, nature, sacred sites, and indigenous people in healing. So that is what is going on. So we have a lot of fun things coming up, but I want to wait until a few more people come on. We started AC 101. We started AC level 1. The L looks like 101.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We started AC level 1 last week, and it was so much fun. It's such a great class. If you're on the fence about it, I can tell you that there's two great groups. There's an 11 a.m. and there's a 5 p.m. and you could join late and watch the recording of the first class. We were going to let that happen because I know a couple people inquired about it. So we would love to see you if that's something you want to do. We also have, this weekend, we have an immersive coming up of the lost animals. And that's at 3 o'clock on Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific to 6, I think. And then the next day from 9 to 5. And we go deep. It's really, I always say that the lost animals and the death and dying, they're really deep, and, sometimes it's painful, and certainly with lost animals, it's often unresolved. And yet it's sometimes the most fun we have in classes. And it's me, Tanya, and Leah teaching this weekend. So I couldn't do an immersive without Tanya. Is Tanya here?
Yes, she is.
Okay, good.
Better be.
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, and is anyone else here?
Yes. We've got Susan Dowdy, says hello. Lorraine Bollinger says hi. Boise, Idaho. Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Lorraine.
Judy Ann Gray says good morning from Virginia.
Good morning.
Shelley Messier says she's from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada.
I knew that.
Yeah. Sue Morgan Dalston. Yeah, Dalston says Sue Dalston, Myrtle Point, Oregon. 5 dogs.
5 dogs. That's good.
Yeah. Barbara Campbell says good morning from Boise.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning,
Barb. And Barb, Lorraine is a graduate from Boise. So, and Lorraine, Barb is a current, just joined the big program, and oh, did we have fun. And oh, do we have fun ahead.
Um, Fifi Heat says hello from the UK.
Hello.
Elaine Livingston says good morning.
Good morning, Elaine, and I have something to show you in a moment. Yes.
Ellen Dillon says hola.
Hola. Hola, cheeky. She is cheeky. Ellen's cheeky.
Oh, she's so. Yeah. Tanya Hoffe says woohoo, looking forward to the immersive.
Me
Leah
too.
says me too.
Good. So we're going to do some deep work here, but I've got some announcements to make. And is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. But before that, I want to say that Elaine, are you with me? Okay. So Elaine sent me the loveliest gift on the planet, and I hadn't even gotten a thank you note out. And I wanted to put it somewhere so special, and I have not done anything I normally am the type that when someone dies, and often it's because I've had a little preparation, I make a memorial. And so anyone that's been here for intensives, they've seen in the kitchen, I've got shadow boxes for each of my beloveds that have passed. And anyway, I didn't know what I was going to put other than Delilah's collar in her shadow box. Because, one year somebody happened to be in Saudi Arabia and when Isabella died, and so they made a thing in Arabian that said Isabella. So if you look closely, and Olivia wore a lot of bling. She looked like, I always said she was kind of like Hilary Swank, like she was a tomboy but could clean up. So all of Olivia's bling is in there. I didn't really know what I was going to put in Delilah's shadow box, and then I got this from Elaine, and it looks like it came.
It looks like it came in the shadow box. Like it just fits so perfect.
And so I've got a beautiful black and white photo that I'm going to put right there.
Put it a little bit higher.
And the black and white photo will go here. Anyway, it's so gorgeous, and I can't.
Yeah. That was you and Delilah.
That's the thing, Elaine, that I don't know if you know, but like I kissed her a million times that way. Every day. Every day. We did that. When I showed Ellie, I sent a picture to Ellie and she about lost it. She's like, that's you and Delilah. So anyway, thank you so much. Did Elaine see it?
I'm waiting for her to respond. Tanya, disturb on. Just make sure the sound is working. Tanya Hoffe said that. Oops. Sorry, guys. My whole thing went a little crazy. Tanya Hoffe says beautiful. Charlie Kale says that's precious. Leslie Williams says that's so beautiful. Phoebe Heath put a heart. Leah said, wow, what an awesome, precious gift.
I know.
Susie Reed says, I have that for my shadow. It is so beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah. Shelly Messier says, that's so awesome. And Joyce Lee Leggett says, love that.
So Elaine, if you went to the bathroom that time, just know that I showed your gift and it was lovely, and you can watch the replay.
Lori Jodar says, what a beautiful gift. It is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Absolutely. So anyway, that's that. And I wanted to, so next week we have the medical intuition here. Also next week, okay, I'm going to go through the schedule in a second, but I want to talk about two things. One is next week I'm launching the AC, Animal Communication 101 book. It's an ebook, and it's also got an audio. And Leah, I sent you the audio so you could listen to make sure. The producer said she wanted extra set of ears to make sure it was okay. You don't have to listen to the whole thing, but just kind of give it a whirl. Anyway, so that's coming up. And the one thing that I need for all my books, and I'm going to trot them all out. We've got the EFT with Fintorn Press. We've got Energy Healing for Animals with Sounds True. And we've got Communication with All Life, which is with Hay House. These two, their birthday is Friday, November 1st. This one came out in 2007. This one came out in 2015. This came out last year, 2023. So what I'm wondering and hoping, and maybe a slight beg, that if you have not already posted a review, if you've read these books, please, if you post a review and send the screenshot to assist@joanranquet.com, we will give you $10 off per review on whatever else you want to buy. And we have some fun things for sale coming up. So $10 per review. And so I'm calling it book bucks. And if you've taken one of our digital classes that you enjoyed and you want to do a review, whatever it is, it's $10 per review credit toward a really fun and groovy digital or live class. So if you're living in Los Angeles and you want to come to Medical Intuition and you've taken several digital classes, you could get, I mean, if you did 10 reviews, that's $100 off, right? So 3 books, a bunch of digital classes. So bucks off your next buy. And I would say, yeah. So that's it.
Animal Communication 101
is coming out. So that's another $10. That comes out on November 7th. We might find a way to do a little pre-sale here in the group. So it's going to be $4.99. And we've got some great stories in it. And then, like I said, the audio might take a couple days. That's because I don't know if we know how to do that yet.
Yeah,
But I've got Leah.
Susie Reed.
Okay.
Hey, it's Felipe.
Hey, we know who it is.
Yeah, we know.
I've got the peanut gallery here. Abby. That was a big bark.
Susie Reed says, I love these books. I want the 101 audio. It's coming.
Yeah, I think you're going to enjoy it. If you're, yeah, I know. She's turned into this dog since Delilah left. We have to bark at everything. So that's it. That's my news. AC 101 is coming out. And then the bucks, the book bucks. And, yeah, I think it's a great way for people to get discounts and helps me, helps you. If you've read the books, it's helping you. Even if you've never read the books and if you're in Amazon or Barnes and Noble, like I could use the reviews on Barnes and Noble as well. So if you don't like Amazon and you do Barnes and Noble, please do it there or however you want to do it. Anyway, $10 per review off on that. And, you know, God knows, we'll have to come up with an amount if you do a video review for the big school, for the big program. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Charlie's going to be like, oh.
Elaine Livingston says, I love it. I love you about the...
Oh, thank you so much, Elaine. It really, I could cry. Seriously. It was, yeah. Today's the first day we went out on the hike the first day since COVID. I did the hike right after she died. Did I tell the story where Abby found a poop from like 3 days before?
Yes. And
took off with it? Well, they split it today. They found it. They brought it back to the gratitude spot. It was in 2. They each had carried her shit. So anyway, it was something, but I knew they had an enormous amount of fun. They've been so sad and so bored and so sick of me that the minute that they were off leash, they were just gone off on adventures like my dogs like to be. So it was very, very good. And I'm slowly, I didn't feel terrible with the COVID, but I'm slower and I'm really grateful for this morning to just get back into my routines. It was really necessary. But with grief, it's like sometimes you set up routines, and this is in the theme of a little bit of what we're going to be talking about in a minute. But sometimes we set up routines because we sabotage ourselves. But I have to tell you, I have enough breaks, like with trips coming up and what have you, that I can really settle into my routine, and I'm gonna give it a go. Is Val here? I wonder if she did 5 a.m. today.
I don't know. I don't see her, but I wanted to talk about really quick. PC 101, Cindy Atwood made a comment.
Oh,
She said, "I love that 101 piece of the animal communication courses. It's awesome. Can't wait for the rewrite. It's going to be awesome."
oh, thank you.
Yeah. And Charlie Kale says, "Ha ha ha! I did say oh."
Yeah, don't pay your invoice for the class next week. We'll give me a review and we'll figure out a deal.
Val says, "Yeah, sorta. I did the 6 a.m."
I did the 6:30 a.m. Because I was tired. I'm still just really tired. That's it.
I was with both of you in spirit because I woke up at 4:45. I said, "I'm doing the 5 a.m. but from my bed, snuggling with my dogs."
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about it. Charlie Kale says, "LOL." Sandy Galindo says, "Hi."
Hi, Sandy. I texted Claudia the other day and said, other than my brother and Claudia's husband, I think your husband must be one of the funniest people alive. The stuff he posts
Oh, see, I don't know.
takes me down. Takes me down. I'm not kidding. I laugh out loud almost every post I see of his. They're so good. I might even be stealing them. I file everything to my social media gal, and so she takes care of Friday Funny, but every day I send her something funny. I'm probably stealing your husband's stuff. So, and
She says he is pretty hilarious.
oh my God, you must just.
I was wondering what the context was. I'm like, did you have a conversation with her?
No, his
'Cause I don't-
posts. You need to make friends with him.
Okay.
Like, immediately.
Okay.
You're not gonna, yeah. You're gonna start sending me stuff at night.
Like I do.
Yeah, look what he posted now. I'm not kidding. He's right up there with your husband and my brother, and that's funny.
And she says, "True."
Some funny shit.
Val said Adam is positively adorable, but finally tested negative for COVID.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to get through the list of the upcoming things because we have, so we have the animal medical intuition live here next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then we have the Northwest School of Animal Massage, which is sponsored by us. And that's 2 days. 1 day is horse and 1 day is dog. I think dog is Saturday and horse is Sunday. And it is so much fun.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So we have that coming up. So then after that, we have Energy Healing for Animals Level 1. That starts on the 14th of November. And that's a great class, and it's a great opportunity to learn tapping, scalar wave. You get a partner, so you work hard on all of the things. It's very, very fun. Then I go to Tanzania and Kenya and Rwanda with some really fun people. And then we have the first Wednesday of the month, we have the intro class.
Third Wednesday.
The third Wednesday of the month, we have the intro to animal communication. The third Thursday of the month, we have the intro to energy healing. So that's coming up in November. And then we also have the dolphin trip in June. And we have the Tula Tula in September. And then I also wanted to share that we're really starting to get people thinking about the spring intensive because it's going to be here in 15 minutes.
Truly.
It's amazing how fast. So really, if you've wanted to come to an intensive, I would say the spring intensive is pretty damn fun. And that's it.
And it would be the 4th, starting on the 4th, right?
4th of April through the 12th?
Through the
11th. Yeah. So, in that we do animal communication, EFT, and then animal communication in sanctuaries. And historically, we've gone to the Gibbons Center, the Gentle Barn, and Wild Tracks and talked to all kinds of wild, I tell you, wild animals. So it's enormous fun. Anything else?
Yeah. So Jan Ramian says hi everyone.
Hi, Jan.
Susan Dowdy says I joined Medical Intuition.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Ellen Dillon says prepare yourself. I'm coming to that. I will be here, Ellen. I'm not going to miss you coming to an intensive.
Ellen and Barb and maybe Barb's friend. Yeah, the spring intensive is going to be explosive.
It is. Okay,
it'll be a volcano of fun.
I wasn't telling you we're going to have fun, even though we are. Penelope's got a little crazy's going.
Penelope.
Okay. Sandy Galinda says
no. This is the new Penelope since Delilah's dead. Thinks she can run the show.
Sandy Galinda says, yes, everyone needs to experience the spring intensive. It is amazing. Helen Dillon says, LOL. I'm glad you hadn't taken a sip of your coffee yet, she said when I read that.
I know.
Otherwise we would have had coffee on it.
I know. Okay, thank
what you did to your lip the other day?
Oh my God, I got a fat lip from a paw. Hi, Abby. Oh, here we are, all of us. They see Abby's tail.
No, so it's two tails. I see a white tip and the big. Ellen Dillon says, "Love that dog." Oh, she'll be all over you.
Yeah. There will be no problem. I share her.
And Sandy says, "Ha ha ha!" The timing of no.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, what I thought we would do today is talk about doubts, and doubts stem from. So we can doubt whether we can communicate with animals. We can doubt whether we could have a career. We can doubt a lot of things, but it's interesting because I was telling this story the other night. Do you know my Gilda story?
Yes.
Should I tell that? It's so funny. I mean, it's so dumb, but it just shows you. So when I was young, I was obsessed with Gilda Radner, and I think when I was like 14, Saturday Night Live came out, and so I watched it, every Saturday, and I wanted to do. I was an actress. Even then I did commercials, and I actually at 17 I ended up in a sketch comedy group. So I did sketch comedy. I had a fake ID, so I was getting into bars, performing with a sketch comedy group in bars, which was crazy. So I thought I was really cool. And what are you talking about? Do you have a different story? Do you have a Bill Murray story? All right. Okay. I'm going to have to tell you to get down in a minute. What?
The mic.
Is the mic on?
I don't know. She's blocking it. Yeah.
Okay.
Jan Ramian says,
no.
Gilda was the best.
Yeah. Who are you? And what have you done with my dog? So demanding. Okay. We're having a moment, clearly. We're having a moment. Are you saying I'm a favorite? Okay. You have to let me do my job. I'm doing a job. Okay. No, I got it. All right. You have to get off. Good girl. All right. You can come back up and behave if you sit in your spot. You want to sit in your spot? Good girl.
Good girl.
Okay. All right. Phew. This is a takeover artist.
I think we've gone off the rails.
We've gone off the rails. Especially when I was going to tell a Gilda story anyway, but okay. Okay, so this is just to illustrate what I was and what I've become. So anyway, I had an agent, and my agent took a group of us to New York City, and mostly the agent was a modeling agent, but I was in the acting department. So I went with a group of models to New York City for this situation, this thing. I was 17, and we were staying this modeling thing to meet all the big fancy agents was happening in the Waldorf Astoria, right? So they screwed up my reservation, and I ended up with this like suite. Like I took pictures of myself in every corner of it because it was like I think it was bigger than my house now. And it was 3405 or something crazy like that, like the 34th floor. And I was feeling pretty cool. And so I knew that Gilda lived in the, what's that hotel? The Dakota. She lived in the Dakota where John Lennon lived. And, anyway, so I just started calling the Dakota and saying, I left messages for Gilda saying, let her know Joan is in town. I'm at the Waldorf 3405. Like, what made me do this? And so I was like, I was that ballsy. Okay, what are you doing? I'm telling a story. Then you're upstaging me. And now my stomach is grumbling and I've got a mic on. Everyone's, oh, there's the mic. It's green. Okay, so anyway, I was that person that would call a hotel and just hopefully get what I want. So eventually this woman calls and she's like, Joan, this is Barbara Burns. Who are you? And I'm like, oh. So suddenly I became small again, right? Like, I'm Joan. I'm an actress from Seattle and I am 17 and I want to meet Gilda more than anything in the world. So I went from being big to being, like, uh-oh. So then she invited me to Gilda's Broadway show that she was rehearsing. She said she would have lunch with you in a minute, but she's rehearsing the show. It's unfortunate I had a film job. Okay. You need to go. You need to stop it. I had a film job back in Seattle. No, come on. You gotta go. Good girl. I had a film job back in Seattle, so I couldn't do the Broadway show, but that's my Gilda story, is I ended up being really ballsy, and then I caved a little with Barbara Burns on the phone, but at the end of the day, my being honest got me an invitation to a Broadway show to sit in house seats and meet Gilda afterwards. So that was, and how many of you have stories like that? How many of you were bigger and larger than life and we got smaller? Claudia's raising her hand. Is anyone else?
Ellen says, talk about cheeky. That's an awesome story. LOL. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I guess there's a certain ballsy part, 30 years ago saying I was an animal communicator, but it just didn't even occur to me to back down from it. But how many people would back down from telling people that? So, anyone answering?
Susan Dowdy says, my dad did it to me all the time.
Made you small?
But said the story, that's too funny. Lorraine Bollinger says, I'm too busy to be big. Sandy says, always. Sandy Galindo. Heidi Evans Empley says, me so many times.
Yeah. It's very common that we put doubts and sabotage up front and center. And like even routines, for example, that's where I was going with being in my routine. Sometimes I can be like, oh, I'm going to do everything by 10 a.m., and then you sabotage because it actually felt good to do that thing that was going to be productive, and then you can't sustain it, right? Like, and so I've made simple routines, but I do get a lot done before, say, 10 a.m. usually. Lately it's just been not much, but the routines make me feel better. I know they're going to make me feel better, and yet it's something that we rebel against ourselves. Like my friend Jenny. My friend Jenny's an actress, and she came over for my birthday, and she handed me back the book for the 5 a.m. club. She's like, I'm never, what did she say?
Val's like, oh, you're in the 5 a.m. club? And she goes, oh, no, never. Something like
Yeah.
that.
It took her 5 years to read The Artist's Way, right? Like, she didn't want to do that. It was just writing in a journal before he did anything. Anyway.
Okay, Susan Dowdy explained, she says, yes, tried to make me small when I found something I was on top of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elaine Livingston says, yes, always.
Yeah. Henry's echolocating right now. We're in here.
Rafael Antonio says, love the story. Great to see you, Joan.
Thank you. That's Sandy's husband.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, you're going to get a lot of friend requests. Elaine said, alcohol used to help.
Yeah. Okay, Abby, are you going to come up? Abby used to come up.
She likes to put her butt there.
Yeah. Anyway, so the thing is, we got this, so Susan is very clear where it came from, but how many of you are clear where it came from? Where did it come from?
Partly from being raised in a very patriarchal culture, and women that were my family, the women in my family on my mom's side of the family, that weren't allowed to do anything without permission, or being smart was looked down upon, being loud was right, all of those things. So there was that part, and then just everything else. But yeah, that's the big one.
These are the things, these feelings. Okay, you are really obnoxious. No.
The ears right now.
This old programming is still running the show. Unfortunately. Right? That's, and so can anyone else identify their old programming?
Elaine. Karen said, what makes you think you're so special? That's a big one. And Shelley Messier says, I started with your program and lost my way, never been able to finish it. Exactly what Claudia said, so too. What Claudia said.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah, it's and then there's the religious guilt and all of the things. I think. Sandy said, for me, it's the perfectionist in me, but feeling like when the pressure is on, I can't measure up.
Yeah. There's something else that my parents had a very, on the one hand, it was a lot of projection is what I would say. Mm-hmm. They projected that I could be anything I wanted. They almost like projected that onto me because they couldn't. So in a funny way, my dad would say, you could be president of the United States. You could be anything you want. And his own smallness got projected onto me. My mom's own smallness got projected onto me, even though, so it was two forms of projection. It was, you can be what we are not. And uh-oh. Does that make sense?
That's exactly it. And it's pardon my French, the mind fuck.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Because it gets, which is it, right? Which is it? Is anyone else finding that?
Yeah. Shannon Messier says, a fucking man. Charlie says, old programming, feelings of lack of worth. Your program has helped me work on that. Shelley says, don't say that out loud. Right? Like,
yeah. 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 So it's,
Ellen says ditto. Ellen Dillon.
yeah. And so it's a funny thing, if your parents do love you and want the best for you, you're still dealing with their projections of what they couldn't do. Or their fear for you out in the world. Right? And so there is that. Do you do that as a mom?
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that right now because it just hit me as you said it. Like, yeah, I just caught myself. Like, I do it with.
I mean, I think that's just called parenting.
Yeah, it's the fear of something happening, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also a firm believer that they have to figure it out on their own. Whereas for me, the argument would be like, well, I'm preventing you from making mistakes. You have to do it my way, right? Whereas I'm just letting you know. But I still do that. As a parent, it's the fear.
How could you not?
Yeah.
So does everybody have an origin story for that? Because we're going to do a little work on unwinding some of that. Does anyone have, I mean, all you have to do is say yes. You don't have to tell me a story of.
Wow. Heidi says, yes. Who do you think you are? You aren't entitled to anything. You're a girl. You will work twice as hard for half as much. Get used to it. EFT daily and lots of meditation has helped.
Wow.
Elaine Livingston says yes. Yeah, she has.
Okay. So what I want everybody to do is to sit straight and let's start breathing. And we're going to eventually do a little tapping around this, but for right now, we're going to get right to it. And I want you to really feel it. And does it land somewhere in your body? And I want you to go into that feeling. Go directly into that feeling. Move as deeply into that feeling in your physical body until you start to feel it dissolve. Has yours started to dissolve at all, Claudia? All right, let's see if anyone else is typing in that theirs is starting to dissolve. If not, just keep breathing. Letting it go. Being with it as we let it go. Has anyone else typed in yes?
People are checking. I don't know if it's to the origin story or.
Did you let it dissolve physically? So if not, just keep breathing into the physical feeling as much as you can. And then we're going to start tapping.
Barbara says yes to dissolve.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to start tapping. So you're going to follow me and repeat after me. Even though I have these doubts, and I've played small, and I wasn't small. I was big.
I was
And I love and accept myself.
And I love and accept myself.
Even though I was plenty big.
Even though I was plenty big.
It wasn't always a hit.
It wasn't always a hit.
But I felt big.
But I felt big.
And then I felt shame.
And then I felt shame.
I felt all those things.
I felt all those things.
And I really got afraid.
And I really got afraid.
And I love and accept myself.
And I love and accept myself.
Even though now I have these stupid fears.
Even though now I have these stupid fears.
I can't stand it.
I can't stand it.
Because I was lyrical.
Because I was lyrical.
I was whimsical.
I was whimsical.
I called Gilda.
I called Gilda.
And I honor the choices I'm making.
And I honor the choices I'm
I
making.
can't believe it.
I can't believe
We're
it.
going into the tapping on the points now.
I can't believe it.
I have this fear.
I have this fear.
This fear kind of rules my life.
This fear kind of rules my life.
This fear rules my life.
This fear rules my life.
And sometimes
Sometimes
I would get so dramatic.
I would get so dramatic.
Because I had to make a request.
Because I had to make a request.
And no one listened to me.
And no one listened to me.
And so I felt shamed.
And so I felt shamed.
I felt shamed.
I felt shamed.
I was shamed.
I was shamed.
I was shamed.
I was shamed.
And I created fear.
And I created fear.
I have this fear.
I have this fear.
I have this fear.
I have this fear.
I feel fear.
I feel fear.
I can't stand feeling fear.
I can't stand feeling fear.
It has strangled me.
It has strangled me.
It has made me stuck.
It has made me stuck.
And somehow I've remained loyal to this fear.
And somehow I've remained loyal to this fear.
I've remained loyal to my parents.
I've remained loyal to my parents.
I've remained loyal to being stuck.
I've remained loyal to being stuck.
And I'm really ready to let this go.
And I'm really ready to let this go.
First of all, I forgive myself.
First of all, I forgive myself.
I forgive my parents.
I forgive my parents.
I forgive anyone.
I forgive anyone.
I forgive the nuns.
I forgive the nuns.
I forgive anyone who stood in my way.
I forgive anyone who stood in my way.
I forgive anyone that didn't believe in me.
I forgive anyone.
I forgive anyone who believed in me but was afraid for me.
I forgive anyone who believed in me but was afraid for me.
I forgive all those stupid projections.
I forgive all those stupid projections.
And I am ready to cut the ties.
And I am ready to cut the ties.
All those projections are gone.
All those projections are gone.
All those projections are released.
All those projections are released.
They've gone back to where they came from.
They've gone back to where they came from.
And I am here free.
And I am here.
I am free.
I am free.
I am free.
I am free.
I am free to be peace.
I am free to be peace.
I'm free to be love.
I am free to be love.
I'm free to be fun.
I'm free to be fun.
I'm free to be big.
I'm free to be big.
I'm free to be an animal
I'm
communicator.
free to be an animal communicator.
I'm free to be an artist.
I'm free to be an artist.
I'm free to be an energy healer.
I'm free to be an energy healer.
I'm free to be me.
I am free to be me.
I'm free to be whatever it is.
I am free to be whatever it is.
I'm free to be me.
I am free to be me.
I am free to be me.
I am free to be me.
Take a deep breath. And let's see if any of that helped. Did that help you? You're back?
Oh my God. Like that shock, that support center, that, right? Like, wow.
Maybe she needs to go outside.
Yeah.
Can you, what, I'll read.
Okay.
Wait, I have glasses somewhere.
Here's the comments. See if these work.
Oh, here's my glasses. Okay.
No.
All right. Big release, Lorraine. That's awesome. Dissolving, Jan. Yes to dissolve. Okay. This is very cool. Anyone else have a big release? Release is unstuck, forgive, free, thank you, tears also. And Leslie, great, I felt a release. Yeah, this is the sort of thing that I like to make sure that we do in the energy healing for animals, some of what we get to do is start working on, well, on ourselves, but also on the work itself, being able to do this for others. But yeah, I think that this was, um, okay, so huge glop in my throat started to dissolve. I'm not as good as her. You go ahead. That's as far as I got. But you'll see people had big release. And if we don't, you know, the more, this is something you can come back and tap on, right? Like you could take a different moment in time of doubt or fear. And thank you, Abby. Abby just drooled on you also.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Did she go potty?
The biggest pee I've ever seen her take.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah. That's why we teach animal communication.
She's calling us dumbasses, but okay.
Yeah.
Elaine says, may need to do this more than once, small release.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Look at how long you've been hanging on to it. We have a loyalty, like, when you take those layers of projection from a parent, right? They love you. They want to see you do well. And then they sabotage it because they're afraid for you, right? Like, we have a loyalty to that love. I didn't have bad parents. I had some bad experiences. And I think, and even so, they weren't bad. They were experiences that shaped me. And my stomach's really growling, and I still have to teach a class before I can have lunch. Anyway, good or bad, whatever. I mean, I hate the terms negative or positive. I really like just the experience. So I had experiences that shaped me. My parents had basically, a contrast, if you will, of pushing me forward and being afraid for me, and at times saying, no, you're too much, so there's a lot to unravel here, especially that if you ever were, was anyone here too much?
My hand could go higher, it would.
Yeah. Anyone here too much?
Oh yeah. Susie Maury says, did not know I needed this. Woo. Phew. Not woo. Shelley Messier says, those who didn't believe in me and those who did and didn't do anything about it, tears. Sizzling Doty says, yes, not bad parents, bad situations, experiences.
Yeah.
Lorraine says, something brought me here today. Absolutely. Charlie says, yes, too much and not enough. Yep.
Yeah, and the thing is that they were battling with the same thing. It's, but for example, you healing this now for you, Claudia, is also going to help your kids.
My daughter isn't already watching this. She watches your lives.
Well, there you go. She's like, fuck her. But no, but it is, we have a right to be mad, and then we have a right to forgive, and it's, it's all the things.
Like I said to you, we were talking about this yesterday. I don't blame my mom. She didn't have the bandwidth, given the situation she was in, the way she was brought up. Right? I don't blame her. I have compassion for her.
And we also have to remember that our moms were probably raised without, before big careers, before, so.
She broke them, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, our moms may have been the mold breakers. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. My aunt was the one that was. My mom was a mom, but then she went into the travel industry because my dad wouldn't travel with her. So anyway.
Val said yes to too much. Heidi Edits Ensley says too much energy, too many emotions. Yep. And Sandy says, true, perfection was expected of my mom.
Yeah, so we can have compassion about what they went through and why they were projecting onto us, but the truth is we have to dissolve this within ourselves to be able to get out there and serve as fully, as bigly, and as you know, be the animal communicators, the energy healers, the artists like Lorraine who's doing both. You know, there's people out there. We've got now Mariana that's doing both. You know, we've got Cynthia Stewart. We've got so many beautiful artists that have come through the program. Val, Jesus.
I've been wanting to take my camera out again, right? Like to do wildlife, even in my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said artist, that one hit hard. That one, like,
yeah.
Paula Wheeler says perfection was definitely expected, and I've been working on this for a long time.
Yeah. It's a big one. And you loved your parents. I mean, you loved your parents, Paula. You took care of them. You were, but it's hard. It's hard.
Put you on.
I am too.
And I wanted to say, Elaine Livingston saying she has a small release right now. Watch and see how those layers.
Yeah, because sometimes it comes off in layers. That's a really good
I'll be
point.
Processing this. Shelley says she's Paul Wheeler says absolutely to what you said. Elaine Livingston says too sensitive. Mine was too sensitive and too overdramatic. And Shelley Messier says they were just kids doing their best, learning along the way and raising us at the same time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's a really important thing to remember. So.
Shelley says that was exhausting.
I know. Good night. I have to go teach.
I know. I have to get on the call.
All right. Well, I really appreciate all of you. I'm really glad we spent this time together. I really hope that you got something from today. And if this starts to unwind for you, put it in the we would love to see in the next day or so if this really unwinds for you. And don't forget book bucks. Book bucks. Book bucks. Go put a review on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or even send us a review for our classes, our digital classes, or anything you've attended, and get $10 off the next thing you buy. So that's it. See you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.